and that is going to extend up into northern or southern Leslie County off to the north there. So you can see here for Wallens Creek on top of you right now, go ahead and go to that safe place. Also for Loyal, that's at 846, Baxter 848, and places as we go close to the Leslie County border around 9 o'clock or so. So go ahead and just go to that safe place now. Don't wait on these times, as these are approximate. So don't take that to the bank. Go ahead and seek shelter now. Again, that is the lowest floor near the center in a small room away from windows. Have on a helmet, also have on shoes, and you don't want to be in a mobile home or car. Jim, can we turn on the velocity real quickly? And we'll take a look at the wind pattern with this storm. And you can see down to the south, there's your couplet, right? Oh, sorry about that. Let's go down to the south a little bit, and you can see right there, there's your couplet just to the south and west of downtown Harlan that is about to cross US 119 near South Wallens. So if you know anyone that may be in South Wallens, call them. Text them. Make sure they know there is a possible tornado over the next minute or two, and they have to seek shelter right now. And again, nobody should be driving on US 119 between Harlan and Pineville until we give you the all clear. And this is going to continue pushing off to the north and east over the next little bit there. Here's your couplet. Again, this dark red color, that's wind going away from the radar in Jackson. This kind of lighter color here, that's wind going away or towards the radar in Jackson. And there is your couplet, very close to South Wallens in Harlan County, very close to US 119. And again, I know we just had a possible tornado with that warning earlier this evening, but again, it's time to go back to your safe place and go ahead and seek shelter now. And this will continue moving off to the north and east over the next little bit there. Once it gets through South Wallens, it'll come up into the US 421 corridor north of downtown Harlan, and that will continue pushing into portions of Leslie County if this holds together. Now, this is a thunderstorm close to the Breathitt and Perry County line, and this will continue pushing off to the east and northeast over the next little bit there. If we can clear that off, there we go. Good. Thank you so much, Jim. And if we can, let's kind of do a little bit of back up a little bit if we can. I want to see kind of what's going on back to the west. Also, we have storms off to the west, and they could also pack a punch this evening. Notice we have a severe thunderstorm warning that's approaching us. We also have another severe thunderstorm warning that's approaching us from the west. So we are not done with that severe weather coverage just yet, and it's very important that you have that First Alert weather app and you stay weather aware. This storm could also produce some heavy rain, some strong straight line winds, possibly some hail as it pushes into the South Wallens area of Harlan County. So it's very important that you go ahead and go to that safe place. Now, some good news, we are not tracking a confirmed tornado at this hour, but that could change. So go ahead and take that seriously and go ahead and go to that safe place if you live in Harlan. Jennifer, do you know if Jack is still in Harlan? Okay, so he needs to be also sheltered from this storm as it pushes close to downtown Harlan. Should pass just to the north of downtown Harlan, but still too close to call. Go ahead and be sheltered. And next up in line is Leslie County, southern Leslie County. And if this holds together, just a heads up, in southern Perry County, this is you right here. And this could be in your neck of the woods if this holds together. No warning for Perry County right now, but this is on a track to push this into northern Harlan, southern Leslie, also southern Perry over the next 15 to 20 minutes, possibly 30 minutes or so. Jim, do you have any updates over there? And from the National Weather Service office, we have a chat, a message board there with the Weather Service, and we kind of get some ideas on any reports coming in this evening.
We do have a couple of reports. Again, these are from some of the ham radio operators, KD4QKQ here. Ladies reporting damage in Whitley County near 930 Frankfort School Road in the Devils Creek area. A lot of tree damage there. And a report of a few homes being damaged in the Bee Creek area of Whitley County. A lady said that a funnel cloud was in her neighborhood and down in that area there. And again, we're getting some folks we've got about 10 ham radio slash amateur radio operators helping us tonight, giving us some information. But again, these are some areas where the storm tracked earlier, this other storm that's basically kind of faded out of sight. But we're watching that storm right now in Harlan County. And Cameron, these are many of the same communities that we were calling off probably an hour ago.
Yeah, exactly.
In Harlan County, from Bell County to Harlan County into portions of Letcher County. This system is, again, laying down a lot of rain. There's hail associated with this system. In some areas, we're seeing some purple colors, which indicates some hail and the strength of the storm, and straight line winds in the neighborhood of 40 to maybe as high as 60 miles per hour. This system continues working its way north and somewhat east as we will get an idea of the path of this storm here. And they're going to be in Tremont. Well, it's on top of you there now. In Ray, we called off that community a while ago, 8:56. Pine Mountain, you still have a few minutes to take cover there. Leatherwood, that's over in Letcher County, 9:06 p.m. And then actually that, yes, that's in Letcher, no, that's in Perry County.
That's Southern Perry, yes.
Yeah, sorry about that.
You're good.
The old school out that way. Hiram at 9:09, Slimp at 9:11. This system, again, working its way to the north and east at about 35 miles per hour to give you an idea of what kind of speed it has with it. But those straight line winds, another part of the problem with this system, Cameron.
Yeah, so I was looking at the radar behind the scenes here, and we are looking at a little bit of more tighter rotation kind of in between South Wallens and downtown Harlan. So this is a serious situation. We have no reports of a tornado on the ground, but still, we do have an active tornado warning for portions of Harlan County, pushing into Leslie County as well. And if this is extended, that could wind up in places like Perry County, also in Letcher County, once again, over the next little bit there. But right now, we have a tornado warning in place, and that does include downtown Harlan. If we can go a little bit tighter here on downtown Harlan, just to kind of show you guys what's kind of happening close to downtown. Again, South Wallens is very close to this possible tornado. Again, very close to South Wallens right now, about to cross US 119 from Harlan, stretching to near Pineville. Again, Bell County is not in the warning, but nobody should be driving on US 119 from Harlan to the Bell County border close to Pineville. Also, no one should be driving on US 421 from Harlan to the Leslie County border, which is where my finger is right now. So this is your possible tornado close to South Wallens, very close to US 119. It's moving off in this direction here. So again, here is downtown Harlan. The path of the storm looks to stay a little bit off to your north, but still, it's too close for comfort. Go ahead and go to your safe place, and that is the lowest floor near the center in a small room away from windows. You don't want to be in a car. You don't want to be in a mobile home during an active tornado warning. So again, we have no reports right now of one on the ground, but that could change. We have a very dynamic and thermodynamic atmosphere across the mountains today, and that means that storms are capable of some pretty rough weather as we go into this evening. If we can, Jim, let's take a look at the velocity display. You can see this, that's showing the rain. This is showing the wind pattern. Let's go a little bit back to the south and west if we can. And there's Harlan right here. So we got the couplet that is very close to South Wallens, also Wallens Creek. And again, there's Harlan right here. Here's your couplet very close to US 119. It's sitting basically on top of that highway right now, and that will continue pushing off to the north and east around 30 to 35 miles per hour. So a call to action if you live close to Bledsoe, close to the Leslie County, Harlan County border. If you live in downtown Harlan, this is your call to action. Go ahead and go to your safe place, as you do not want to play with a tornado warned storm. Again, we are watching out for this over the next several minutes. This is a warning that will be in effect until 9:15. We're coming up on 8:50, so we have about 25 more minutes or so with this warning in place. This will cross over US 421 next up, kind of in between Harlan and Bledsoe. But again, if you live in those two areas, go ahead and go to that safe place. The lowest floor near the center, away from windows. You want to have on a helmet. You want to have on shoes as well. You don't want to be in a car, and no mobile homes during a tornado warning. Now, let's do a little bit of a reset, Jim. Let's kind of zoom out here and show the entire region if we can. I think this is our only warning right now, and I think that is the case. Now, is it raining? Yes. Is it lightning? Absolutely. Are we having some gusty winds? You betcha. But right now, we have one warning that is a tornado warning, and that is for portions of Harlan County, also pushing into extreme southern Leslie County. If you live in Leslie County, if you live in Hyden, this does not include you. So if you live in downtown Hyden or around Hyden, this does not include you. This is far southern Leslie County, close to the Harlan County border. And again, this is a storm capable of producing a tornado over the next few minutes close to downtown Harlan. No reports of one on the ground, but again, go ahead and take shelter and take this storm seriously. This is US 119, and again, the storm is basically on top of US 119, and there is your possible tornado just to the west of downtown Harlan, but it's too close to call. You need to be in your safe place. That'll continue pushing off to the north and east into northern Harlan County, close to the Leslie County border, also close to the Pine Mountain area. So just go ahead and go to your safe place if you live in the Pine Mountain area. Everett, you're technically on the border of this warning. I do think this will stay to your north and west, but still, just to be safe, if you live in Everett, go ahead and just seek shelter, go indoors, and just stay away from those windows over in Everett as well. But I do think the more tornadic part of this storm will stay to your north and west over in Everett. But Harlan, that's a different story. This thing is very close to downtown Harlan right now. And next up in line is the Pine Mountain area. Also, if you live close to the Leslie County, Harlan County border, along US 421, also close to US 119. Jim?
Cameron, we started tracking storms today, not long after 5 o'clock. And this was a storm that began in Morgan County, Tennessee. We followed it all the way through about 9 counties, all the way up into portions of Pike and Wise County, Virginia areas. This is a different system that we're watching now. This just developed not long after we signed off here the last few minutes. Thank you for that. And we're watching it here in the Harlan County area. This is a tornado warning that runs through 9:15, so about another 24 minutes for the life of this as it stands. And this is the only warning that we're seeing throughout the entire WYMT viewing area. That's a good thing. We're waiting for this cold front to pass. The cold front, as the numbers looking at the temperatures, we have seen temperatures in the Louisville area begin to cool. And here, of course, you can see back behind the showers that the cold front is fairly well defined. It's on the east side of Louisville, and there's a line of showers and storms in the Lexington area that's moving toward the east. But we're seeing that cold front continue to push this storm system and triggering this warm air and this moisture into storms, and that tornado warning for Harlan County again runs until 9:15. But once the cold front clears our neighborhood, we're going to be home free with regard to the severe storms and the tornadic activity. But in the meantime, we have a tornado warning going until 9:15 tonight for Harlan County, Kentucky. And we'll have to see what kind of life this storm has to it. It may be short-lived, but it's not quite the impressive supercell that we tracked for 3 hours.
I completely agree with that.
Yeah, nearly 200 miles, Cameron. When we go back and look at the mileage from Sunbright, Tennessee, all the way up into near Dorton, Kentucky, we're talking about a couple of 100 miles. And again, a 3-hour track there. And again, you can see a strong system here with hail associated with heavy rainfall in Harlan County.
Yeah, so we talked about this threat for about 6 days, Jim. We talked about this first last Thursday. I gave everyone the heads up, hey, we could see some rough weather on Tuesday. And remember, if you joined us on Facebook over the last couple of days, I talked about the possibility of a few long track supercells in our region. And we had definitely that earlier this evening, as we had that supercell come from northeast Tennessee all the way through southeastern Kentucky. But now we are tracking a different storm, and we turn on the velocity really quickly. I want to see kind of what that looks like if there's a couplet here. And again, that's going to be just to the north and east now of downtown Harlan. So there's your couplet, very close to US 421, also very close to US 119, kind of where those two roads come together, just to the north and northeast of downtown Harlan. Next up in line, this is Highway 221 going over to Pine Mountain, and this is going to be very close to you guys over in the Pine Mountain area. So you're up next in line. Go ahead and go to that safe place. And again, that will be the lowest floor of your home, near the center, in a small room away from windows. A hallway, a closet, a bathroom, all those are great shelters. You do not want to be in a car or a mobile home. We can give you the all clear if you are west of downtown Harlan or west of US 421. If you live close to South Wallens or Wallens Creek, you are no longer under the gun when it comes to this warning. The circulation is now off to your north and east, so a all clear for areas west of US 421 over in Harlan County. But again, next up in line, this will continue moving off to the north and east, so Pine Mountain, a heads up. This is coming into your area over the next few minutes there. Now, I will say the storm, the circulation, not as really impressive as the one that we had earlier this evening that came from Tennessee that passed through Kentucky, including Harlan County. Not as impressive as that circulation, but still, we still have a pretty juicy atmosphere across eastern Kentucky this evening. So go ahead and go to that safe place. Again, this is a dangerous situation, as we could see a possible tornado just to the north of downtown Harlan, pushing off to the north and east. And again, it's very important if you live in Pine Mountain, go ahead and go to your safe place. You have about 10 minutes, if that. Remember, this is an indicated rotation, but these are also some approximate arrival times, what I'm trying to say. So don't take that to the bank and don't wait until 9:05 to seek shelter in Pine Mountain. Go ahead and seek shelter right now, as this is a tornadic storm that we could see pushing into northern Harlan County, very close to the Leslie County border. And if they extend this warning, which I don't think they would, because I'm not really seeing much in terms of the rotation, but if they did, we have some curveballs sometimes. That would include places in southern Perry County, also into western Letcher County. Again, no warning right now for Perry or Letcher, but if this is extended, just a heads up, if you live close to the Letcher, Perry, Harlan County borders over here in southern Perry County, this is moving into your direction after it goes through Pine Mountain. But again, right now, this is just to the north of US 119 and just to the east of US 421. I can now give an all clear to downtown Harlan. So if you're in downtown Harlan, the tornadic part of this storm is now off to the north and east. Again, here is your possible tornado, and here is Harlan down here. So we are a little bit off to the north and east, so an all clear in downtown Harlan. But this is really approaching Pine Mountain, possibly some large hail. You can see this kind of dark red color here. That is potentially, we could see quarter-sized hail. Also some strong winds, some heavy rain, and possibly a quick spin-up tornado, especially into northern Harlan County. And that will continue pushing off into the direction of Pine Mountain. Can we zoom out a little bit? Jim, I want to show kind of what's going on in the Cumberland Valley if we can. I see we have some pretty hefty thunderstorms approaching places in Laurel County, Rockcastle County, Jackson County. Now again, some good news. This is not severe. Now, we did have some reports of some damage in Whitley County earlier this evening. These storms are below severe limits. That's good news there, but still producing some really heavy rainfall, possibly some small hail, and some gusty winds as well. So this is still some active weather, some rough weather. You really don't want to be out in this weather. So if you can, just stay indoors this evening and kind of pop some popcorn, watch the severe weather coverage here on WYMT. What better way to spend your Tuesday evening, Jim? Because I really can't think of one.
Yeah, quite romantic, I might add, I guess, Nonetheless, we are certainly going on. Let's see, you've been here since what, early this morning, I guess?
Yeah, we had that first round come through about, let's say 10:30-ish this morning.
Yeah. Breakfast, lunch, and severe weather.
Yeah.
That's the storyline today. This warning for Harlan County runs for another 17 minutes to give you a little time frame there. And who knows, they may go how the National Weather Service Storm Prediction Center may allow that to expire maybe a few minutes earlier. But in the meantime, batten down the hatches in that area of the mountains, southeast Kentucky, as we continue to track storms. And we'll continue to have some rain tonight, even though the cold front is not quite here to move on through. Once it gets through, we will all be home free from this very summer-like weather pattern we've had. Temperatures way up into the 70s today. In fact, the low this morning was in the 60s and near 70 in some areas of the viewing area, if you can imagine that. That's about 30 degrees above average for a morning low. So with that nature is out of balance, and we've experienced the last several hours. It's getting back in balance here, and it will do that on occasion to get back in balance. And it's been a rough ride here for lots of folks. Some damage around the area, certainly straight line winds associated with this system we're watching that is closing in on Pine Mountain, and some hail as well, heavy downpours of rain, and those strong wind gusts. And again, an opportunity for you to get online and download that WYMT weather app. It's so handy. If you have to go shelter, you can take your phone with you and follow us on the app right there. It's very, very convenient because you can't always take the computer or maybe the TV with you. There you go. So that handheld device is absolutely wonderful. Cameron?
Yeah, we can also give an all clear to the Everett area. So they've really trimmed back that warning in Harlan County. So an all clear in Everett and all clear in Harlan from this particular storm. We will see some more rain tonight, but from this storm, the danger is over in Everett, also in downtown Harlan. Pine Mountain, though, you're next up in line for this system. This is on Highway 221 here. A little bit of an inflow notch just to the south and west of Pine Mountain. The possible tornado would be in this region right right here, kind of where that hook feature shows up. And again, that's kind of following Highway 221 into the Pine Mountain area. Now, if the Weather Service decides to extend this warning, this is southern Perry County, this is Letcher County. So we could see a new warning in a matter of moments for portions of Perry County and Letcher County. Not really sure if they will do that. We'll see here shortly if they decide to extend that warning into southern Perry County. Also for portions of Letcher County. Now, I mentioned earlier we had some damage coming out of Whitley County. We do have a reporter on the way to Whitley County, so we hope to have some video or some pictures coming soon from the possible damage over in Whitley County from a severe thunderstorm earlier this evening. But again, right now our focus is on this tornadic storm that is approaching the Pine Mountain area on Highway 221. Again, this is in Harlan County. This sliver right here is Leslie County. Now, I do think that this will stay just to the south of Leslie County. So I would not be shocked to see this warning kind of trim back to include only Harlan County. But again, we'll kind of wait and see what the Weather Service wants to do there. Next in line, if this kind of pushes off to the north and east, a heads up in southern Perry County. This is you guys right here. And notice, this is pushing into your direction. This will be very close to where Harlan, Letcher, and Perry counties all come together here just to the east of the Pine Mountain area. So a first alert for Delphia at 9:07, for WYMT at 9:11. If this kind of holds together. Now, the Weather Service did say this is kind of cycling. It kind of comes in waves. It kind of revamps, and then it goes away, and then it comes back a little bit later. So this is a cyclic storm, and that means that it's not those long track supercells, but a little bit of a spin up there in Harlan County. Now, I do want to say we have a tornado watch in place that will last for eastern Kentucky through 10 p.m. this evening, for West Virginia, for Virginia, also for Tennessee. That's through 2 a.m. into the early morning hours. But again, for us, the tornado watch is in place until 10 p.m. this evening. But notice back into western Kentucky, Louisville is no longer shaded. The cold front has come through Louisville, coming through Frankfort, knocking on the door in Lexington. Once that system passes, the threat for severe weather will be over. But until then, you have got to be sure to stay weather aware. You've got to be sure to have multiple ways to receive warnings. Because this one, Jim, it just kind of pops up out of nowhere. We were going to get some food, and then the tornado warning said not so fast.
Absolutely, Cameron. And, you know, we talk about dew point temperatures in the summertime. If it's in the mid-60s, maybe like 65 or so, it's fairly muggy. And we've been in those type dew points today in many areas of the WYMT viewing area. And when you get dew points at 55 degrees or greater, you're going to be dealing with some pretty serious thunderstorms, and we've found that out today. But the dew points, all the moisture content in the atmosphere, the colder air coming through, the warm temperatures, perfect recipe for severe weather. We've been tracking that today. But this cell in the Harlan County area, north of Harlan County now, or north of Harlan, the city of Harlan now, just a pop-up storm that has become and developed to be very, very strong. And this warning runs for another about 10 minutes or so to about 9:15. But we have tracked a supercell tonight, and it has certainly lived up to its billing of a supercell from a Tennessee county, not even bordering Kentucky. It's where this developed about 5:15 this afternoon, and Cameron tracked this through 9 counties, all the way up the spine of the Appalachians, through Tennessee counties into Bell County is where it entered the bluegrass, the mountains and the bluegrass state, and of course into Harlan County. But that's all gone. But not right now, still dealing with this issue in Harlan County. A strong storm there, a lot of rain associated with this storm, some hail, and of course damaging wind. The main threat from all these storms, actually.
Let me double check real quickly, Jim. It looks like they may have dropped that
I was watching that. I zoomed in to make sure.
Let me double check here really quickly, but we may have dropped that, and they have. So good news there. It looks like we've dropped the tornado warning for Harlan County. And that is some good news there, because really the rotation was just not there. So, and that's nothing to be sad about. That's some good news there that they've canceled the tornado warning for Harlan County and Letcher County. So if you live in Pine Mountain, you can come out of your safe place. Now, we are not done with the severe weather threat like we talked about earlier this evening. We are waiting on this cold front. Here is the cold front. And once this system passes, some cooler and some drier air is on the way, and that will set the stage for potentially a few snowflakes by this time tomorrow. So we are... Yeah, we can do that. Who do you want to start with first? Who's kind of available? Okay, let's go to West Liberty real quickly and this is our reporter Madison Carmouche, and she is in. Okay, she says the rain is picking up, and you can see there we are tracking that shower and storm action over in Morgan County. Hello, Madison. Thank you for being a trooper this evening, and we are tracking some gusty winds. These are below severe limits, so we have no severe weather warnings for Morgan County or for West Liberty, but this is a common scene across the mountains at this hour. We have widespread rain. Okay. And we have widespread rain, and we also have potentially some localized flooding there in the parking lot. I should also mention we have that flood watch in place, and that will last through this evening as well for mainly areas along and north of the Mountain Parkway. Who else is available, Jennifer? Okay, let's go to, okay, we also have a live image in London. If we can take a look at that after this really quickly. You can see here that we have a live look. Yeah, let's go ahead and go to that real quickly if we can, and that'll show the Cumberland Valley, and we are still watching out for some showers, not as heavy over in London, kind of looking at like we're getting a little bit of a break over in downtown London right now, but that does not last for too much longer, as again, we still have that cold front to go through, and we are watching out for some more showers and storms. Some of those could be strong to severe. Before we go, Jim, let's kind of show the tornado watch one more time, and we'll throw back to regular programming here shortly, as we have no more active tornado warnings, but we do have this watch in place until 10 o'clock this evening. And again, Jim, it says 10 p.m., but this squall line is kind of in the Lexington area.
Yeah,
so
looks serious.
We'll kind of see if the Storm Prediction Center or the National Weather Service wants to extend this again. It's possible, so just be sure to have a way to receive warnings in those watches and stay weather aware. If more warnings are issued, of course, we'll be back on WYMT and on Facebook and on WYMT.com. But until then, we have no active warnings. We're going to go back to regular programming. For Jim Freeman, I'm Cameron Aaron, live in the WYMT First Alert Weather Center.